Alright, welcome back to another Beatles reaction. Today I'm going to be reacting to With the Beatles. This came out in 1963, same year as the last album I did, Please Please Me. They look kind of fitted up on the cover in the all black, you know, so I had to dress the part. Maybe we're going to get something a little bit more serious here because it's kind of got a dark vibe on the cover. So make sure to go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut, as well as all the other Beatles reactions. There's a link in the description down below, and we're gonna hop into it. The first track is It Won't Be Long. It won't be long, yeah, 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 it won't be long, yeah. What a crazy chorus. I love the back and forth with these yeahs. Really good. Love that descend new guitar line. That's really good. Ooh, I like the chord they ended on there. A lot of color and depth to those harmonies at the end there. Yeah, I'm not gonna jump the gun too quick because the same thing happened with Please Please Me, where the first two tracks I'm like, this is kind of mid, I wasn't loving it, but then I slowly got into it. I feel like that might be the same here because, to be honest, I didn't love this. We'll kind of slowly get into it, and maybe it'll just take a little bit for me to get hooked into this album. I do like that chorus quite a bit. It's pretty memorable with the back and forth yas. Next track is All I've Got to Do. Whenever I want you around, yeah. Whoa, interesting time signature here. And when you just gotta call on me, and the same goes for me whenever you want me at all. I will say, everything does feel a little bit darker, right? Like it's not as unapologetically positive as the last album was. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a darker tinge here. I don't know, it feels like maybe they're kind of carrying the harshness of something like Twist and Shout, even though, like I said in the last video, that feels like a song made for a Zumba class with moms, with middle-aged moms. There's like a level of harshness to that track that I thought was really interesting, especially with the vocals. So it feels like maybe they're kind of carrying that sound over a little bit on this album. I really like the percussion on that track, really like how massive it sounded. I don't know, we're kind of floating in this weird space right now. If it's too similar to the last album, maybe I'm not going to end up loving it, but we'll see. Next track is All My Loving. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Really kinetic energy to that rhythm guitar there. Super quick. Oh, nice guitar here. Nice. I love this kind of post-chorus here. Love these descending harmonies. That was good. That was my favorite so far. Maybe we're actually just following the exact flow of Please Please Me, because that album I didn't love the first two tracks, and then the third one is really where it started to pull me in. Same thing here. I think this track is easily the best so far. Really love the pace to that rhythm guitar. Love the mix. Love how bombastic everything feels here. What was I gonna say? It also feels like there's more of a vocal presence here in terms of like just more weight to the vocals, and I think that's just coming from the fact that even when there's not harmonies, these vocals are like doubled, and I don't think that was the case on Please Please Me. So everything feels a little bit more like in your face here, I guess, is the best way to say it, or the best way to put it. So yeah, let's keep going. That was my favorite so far. Next track is Don't Bother Me. So go away, leave me alone, don't bother me. I love how just like irritated these lyrics are. Don't bother me. That track felt just a little bit too repetitive instrumentally, like the song didn't really go anywhere. It just kind of feels like this It's kind of like a jammy song, you know? It's just the band having some fun and just George George with these irritated lyrics over top. This is George singing, right? It says George wrote this, so I'm assuming it's him singing. But yeah, I just feel like the chord progression and just the song itself didn't really go anywhere. So I didn't love that one. Next track is Little Child. Oh, I really want to just point out these lyrics. I'll save it until the end, but you guys probably know what I'm gonna say. Hey, here's the harmonica again. I'm bringing this back. You know, there's been a couple songs, as I've done these Beatles albums, there's been a couple songs that I can, like, say are bad songs. And this feels like one of them to me. Like, it just really comes across as kind of creepy in the lyrics and just kind of annoying with the vocal delivery as well. Now, an actually, like, valid point that a lot of you guys brought up in the last reaction, because I believe there's a song in there where, I think it's the first track where he says, she was just 17, if you know what I mean, you know, and I took that as kind of creepy. But a lot of you guys mentioned that, like, the Beatles themselves, when they wrote this, were, what, like, late teens or early 20s, which is still kind of weird to me, but also there's the fact that the age of consent is different in the UK, I guess. So that is a valid point that you guys brought up, definitely, about that last track. But it's at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it just still comes across a little bit creepy and just leaves a weird taste in my mouth. Like this too, even if, I mean, we don't explicitly mention an age here, but just the fact that just saying little child and then just like this, I'm so sad and lonely, baby, take a chance with me. Like, even if, I don't know, like, it's art, you can interpret it how you want to, but just all the context of the time and how it was more normalized at that time, I guess, leads me to believe that this song is a little bit creepy, okay? It's a little bit creepy. Let's keep going. This album, I'm not loving it as much as the last one so far, but there's still time. And actually, I want to mention, too, a lot of what that last track reminded me of. I watched this movie Priscilla recently, which tells the story of Elvis's wife, Priscilla. Apparently when Elvis met her, she was in like 9th grade or something, like just literally a child. And I don't think that movie clearly isn't like glamorizing that or in favor of that. It's clearly from Priscilla's perspective and how that was damaging to her and how the marriage really didn't go great. The previous song kind of reminded me of that movie, and again, just makes me think that, yeah, that was kind of normal at the time, right? Which is just kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm not comparing Elvis to the Beatles, because like marrying someone who's like, I don't know actually, how old was she when they got married? Okay, so he married her. Okay, I see. He married her when she was 21, but still, it's a little bit weird, right? Kind of just feels like grooming in a way. I'm not comparing Elvis to the Beatles. I'm not saying what the Beatles are doing in a song here is the same as what Elvis did in real life. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. This track's a lot more stripped back than everything else so far. I like it though. And wonderful roses, fragrant meadows, very theatrical. And you. Ooh. I don't know, very summery, kind of samba feel to it. Is that the right term? Ooh, that was spicy. That was spicy. It was smooth. It was sensual. It was, yeah, I like that. That was good. Really stripped back, but just really, really pretty. Very theatrical. Great groove and rhythm to that guitar. All right, next is Please Mr. Postman. Mr. Postman, look and see. Oh, yeah. If there's a letter for me. I see the tears standing in my eyes. Check it and see one more time. I like the writing here a lot. I like just like putting the desperation on the hands of just some random postman, you know, like there's this middleman that like is either going to be the cause of his immense joy or his immense pain, you know, if he doesn't get a letter. It's just kind of funny to me, and I don't know, I like that concept. Yeah, it was good. I like that. That was fun. Kind of reminds me of a Toro y Moi song, Mr. Postman. Off of Mahal, I think is the album. I wouldn't be surprised if that song is inspired by this Beatles track, so yeah, I liked it. It was good. Memorable songwriting, just a memorable song all around, so let's keep going. Roll Over Beethoven. Oh, wait, what? Are they throwing shots at Mr. Beethoven? Damn! He's catching shots, guys. Okay, so is this a cover? Because it says a classic Chuck Berry hit from 1956. Because I was just about to say, it feels like this album is a lot of the Beatles starting to write their own stuff. Like, they, don't get me wrong, they wrote a lot of the stuff on Please Please Me, but a lot of that was covers as well. Yeah, I was going to say, it feels like they're starting to write a lot of their own stuff, and I felt like you're kind of actually seeing a positive effect in terms of the songwriting, just feeling like it has a little bit more identity to it. But if this is a cover, I guess that kind of ruins that point. But either way, I like the writing here. Taking shots at Beethoven. I like the kind of tongue-in-cheek attitude to this track. Like, we've heard enough of that. Get that Beethoven crap out of here, bruh. Get it out of here. Let's keep going. Hold Me Tight is next. It feels so right, so hold me tight tonight, it's you. Really good percussion on this track. I love the size of the drums here, especially the toms during this part. Okay, that track encapsulates a lot of what this album has kind of felt to me. It feels like the percussion and the drums are really big and massive and boomy on this album, which I think creates a pretty interesting sound, different from the last album, definitely. I do feel like you're losing a little bit of the authenticity of the last album. One thing you guys mentioned in that last video in the comments was that album was recorded in a day, and I really felt like you could feel that rawness. It just felt very, very simple, but like in the best way possible, where they were just getting ideas out really quick. Just kind of first idea that hits their mind, boom, record it, let's go. This album feels a little bit more calculated, and I think it's succeeding in some areas because of that, but ultimately it's feeling a little bit less heartfelt. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed by this one. I'm not loving it. Next track is You Really Got a Hold on Me. I don't like you, but I love you. Really got a hold on me. You really got a hold on me, baby. Hold me, hold me, hold me. Track is really boring. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that track did really not do much for me. Just felt kind of lifeless. Maybe it's really, I don't know, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's just a culmination of everything else leading up to this that makes it feel a little bit, maybe I'm just kind of bored and worn out at this point, but yeah, this really didn't do much for me. Okay, this album's kind of quickly entering mid territory, guys. We might have our first mid Beatles album. I wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be your man. I wanna be your man. Ooh. Tell me that you love me, baby. I wanna be your man. Okay, I really like the instrumental here, but these vocals are kind of rough. See, this is good. I'm so conflicted on this track. I love the instrumental, but this vocal performance is so annoying, and this melody is just... ugh. Okay. That's one of the better tracks in a while, just because the instrumental is at least, like, memorable, and I guess the track in general is one of the more memorable that we've had in a while, but, like, there's something about the I wanna be all love, baby, I wanna be all man. Just kind of really really grinds in my gears for some reason. I don't know, it just itches my brain in a weird way that I don't like. Really just an annoying melody and an annoying vocal performance. Interesting instrumental, so it's kind of a mixed bag for me. I don't know, at least it's memorable. But probably not one that I'm gonna return to that often. So Devil in Her Heart is next. Oh my, I'm kind of just at a point where I'm like, I don't care about this album anymore, bro. Like, that track had I like the lyrics here, but everything's just kind of blending together now. And it just, I don't know, it just doesn't have the same charm that the last album had, you know? Second last track, Not a Second Time. You know you made me cry. I see no use in wondering why. I'm wondering why you hurt me then. That's the piano solo? That's the piano solo? I'm sorry, but that sounded like that was played by a freaking third grader. What is going on, bro? No, 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 not a second time. Oh, God. Guys, I hate to say it, but this album is really kind of mid. Really mid. I said in the last video that, I said maybe the Beatles are going to be one of those bands that just doesn't have a bad album, but I think this might be the first one, guys. That piano solo was so lifeless. What the... This isn't just me being a hater, because I've loved... Well, there's been some albums that I've liked, I haven't loved, but I've enjoyed every Beatle albums I've heard up to this point. Yeah, this one's just not doing it for me. Let's keep going, though. Last track, Money, That's What I Want. Crazy vocals there. I'm enjoying this one a little bit more because the vocals have some bite to them, you know? Here we go. Yeah, it was pretty good. A lot better than the last couple tracks. Like I said, just because the vocal performance had a bit more bite to it. But overall, I feel kind of underwhelmed by this album. There's some really, like, funny, memorable songs in the middle there, like Please Mr. Postman and Roll Over Beethoven. But from Hold Me Tight to Not a Second Time, just kind of, I could do without. Really forgettable. Some good tracks at the beginning there. So it's kind of a mixed bag. There's some good stuff here, but majority of it comes out feeling kind of like it lost the charm of their first album. So yeah, those are my thoughts. This is probably in like the 5 range for me, 5 out of 10. Really the first like really kind of underwhelming Beatles album that I've heard, which, I mean, it was bound to happen. I was feeling really optimistic after the last album that maybe they just don't have a single bad one, but yeah, this one really didn't do much for me. Like, I wonder if this is regarded as one of the better albums in terms of their like first 5, let's say. I'm actually really curious to see now. I'm gonna check Album of the Year. I know Album of the Year isn't representative of all Beatles fandom or music fandom in general, but critic score is going to be a high on every single one of these, of course. User score looks like it's pretty low with the Beatles, a little bit lower than Please Please Me, so looks like I'm not completely in the minority with this take. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know any insights you have. And yeah, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. And I will see you guys in the next Beatles reaction. Peace out.